on this computer. Okay, so we're now recording. I'm going to share the workbench. Now, I'm going to ask, did anybody figure it out yet?
No.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right, if you haven't, we're going to build this one step at a time, and I'm going to show you how I go about building this because it is really, sometimes it is complicated, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to repeat myself, but I'm going to do this only for employee 001. I'm going to run this query. So, all right. All right. This is the person's first and last name, which we get, and we're good with that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my left join with employees dot salaries as sal on emp.empno equals sal.empno. And then I can bring these fields back in.
Right.
Now, this will give me, at each point, it will give me the total salaries from a particular day to an end day. Now, that's great. Now what I need to do, I'm going to do this step by step. I'm not going to jump ahead. I'm going to go after what department number does this person belong to. So I'm going to do my left join of employees dot department emp as we'll call it DE on emp dot emp no equals DE dot emp no. Let me run this. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Now the key is to keep watching this 17 rows returned. It's giving me the same number of rows returned. So when I ran the join here, right, it gave me the same number of the same number of items here, which is all well and good. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't display the department number, but when I displayed the department number, I get my 17 rows, and here's my department number. That make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Now, the biggest issue I've got right now is I've got to figure out who the person's manager is. Now, the problem is because this department doesn't really exist, let's find the department first. So if I do a left join on employees, and we know it doesn't exist because we altered departments as, we'll call it DPT on emp, nope, I'm sorry, DE dot dept no equal to, sorry, I got to put this in parentheses. You don't need, I don't think you need parentheses, but I like putting them in anyway. DPT dot dept no. And then I'm going.
The employees has two Y's in that line 5.
Thank you. Name. Okay. Now when I run this, I should get the department name. The problem is the department name is null. Everybody follow that?
Yep.
So if I change this to an inner join, I get no records because it must exist in both sides.
Right.
So this becomes my new left, and this is the right side. And therefore, because there's no record for that DSX5, whatever it was called, it basically says there's no record that matches, so we're done. But if I make it a left join, basically it will say, give me everything on the left side, which is everything from the joins of this to this side, secondly, and it will return a null for the department name. Okay, does everybody follow that?
Yep.
Any questions? All right, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to change this to department 2. Oh, person 102. Oh, I got another one there. Let me see. I got to have There we go. So I changed to 103. So now I have the person, I have a department name, which is good. And the reason I need that is because I need to figure out who the manager is. So the department has to exist. And that's from this table here, this department manager. So now what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to create another join on the department number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another left join. Now you might ask, look, why are you doing a left join instead of an inner join? I'm doing a left join because I'm basically saying, even if you do not have an intersection with the right side, I still need you to display the people on the left side. So whether you know an intersection exists or not, you may want to do a left join anyway. Unless you're absolutely certain that all you want are the intersections. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do manager here as, we'll call it DM on DM dot department number equals DPT, department manager, I'm sorry. Yeah. We're going to join this with DPT dot department number, but I don't want to display anything from the department manager other than the employee number. And to basically understand what this is, I'm going to create an alias. I don't need the as, I'm going to do emp number. We're going to call this manager emp number. I'm basically saying, take this and alias it as manager emp number.
So you don't need the as?
You don't need the as.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Now I get it.
Okay. Who else? Colleen or Gabrielle, I think you guys said something?
Yeah, I was actually just going to ask, how come you don't have to use as sometimes, but then other times you do?
In the left join, I think, in the joins, I think the as is mandatory.
Okay.
In the from, it's not. In the select, it's definitely not.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you get the same result. So it's optional. Okay. I'm going to make a suggestion. Put the as in, because it's very clear as to what it is, and it might be easy to get lost. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm so used to doing this from the old style, we didn't have the as command. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now that you have the manager number, now I need to know what the person's name is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do another left join. I could do an inner join if I wanted to. I'm going to do another left join on the employees, but I'm going to alias this as something else. I'm going to call this E2. So this is almost as though it's a totally different table, even though it's the same table. I'm referencing it as that. But I want to link it to whatever this department manager employee number is. So I'm going to basically do dm.empno equals e2.empno. Now I'm going to add on this. Now that I have that, I'm going to say give me e2 dot first name, comma e2 dot last name.
Beautiful.
Okay. But I'm going to alias this, and we're going to go manager first. Just going to tidy this up a bit. On each line, I'm putting in where they come from. DE, script, DM, E2, as manager last. Okay. Everybody see that?
Yep.
And then I'm going to run this. And now you have the manager's first and last name.
Fantastic.
Okay. What's that, Chris?
I'm sure I've got a typo in here. I'm just trying to find out where I've got my typo.
Right. So understand that you have to and notice when I built this query, I did not build this query in one shot. I built it step by step so that I could figure out what keys I was trying to connect each table to.
Right.
Question.
Could we just go like join by join,
Sure.
explaining what it's grabbing? Because I really don't think I could be able to recreate this right now.
That's fine. I'm going to ask you to do it.
Oh shit.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Mohammed.
Yeah. So here, like online, So online 7, you alias implies as EMP and then rename it as E2 in 12. Will this create any conflict on?
I'm actually not renaming it. I'm actually joining to that table almost separately, as though it was a totally new table.
Okay.
Okay?
So
That's why I'm aliasing it as a different name.
But what's the benefit of aliasing it as a different name?
I can't go back to the original salaries because the original salaries, the original employees is pulling the information directly. I need to link the table again separately on the employee number that came from the department manager.
Oh.
okay.
Okay.
Linking it down.
That's correct. I'm separating the links because it can't go back to the table that you originally retrieved as employees because it retrieved everything and has no way to link it to this manager number. But because I alias it again separately, I'm actually able to reference it against the department manager's employee number. That make sense, Gabriella?
Kind of, yeah.
So let's do this again. I want to make sure. Hold on.
And also, why you like in where you choose m.imp number as 1003?
Right here.
Yeah, and the 13 line last. Yeah.
I only did that so that I can choose one person so that we can see what the results are.
Oh, so you're just looking for one person as a
Yeah.
manager. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So this line is getting me all the employees, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This line basically says, based on the employees that you received, I want you to match up the salaries employee number so that I can get the salary name here.
Right.
Okay. This line says, well, after you do that, link that table to the department so that I can basically join what employee belongs to what department so that I can display the department number.
So how come on this one you're not linking it to the salary one you just made above?
I could have done either.
Okay.
But I prefer linking to the from clause if it's the same because that's the table that has the core information that I want. Since the salary employee number is the same, it would have been the same.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I get it.
Alex, one question. What exactly was the logic regarding having the salaries? Is it that the salaries are giving an indication with respect to date that the manager also changes with respect to date? Is that the reason?
Say that again?
Yeah, so what is the logic in having salaries in this particular query when we just want the manager for the person? Is it
I actually
because
don't. I want the whole record for this person.
Okay.
Okay. Now here, once I've got the department, the department employee has a link between the department and the department number and the employee number. So therefore, I want to get the department. So what I do is I link here to the departments based on the department number, and then I display the department name because now I've linked to it. On this one, because I'm trying to get the department manager, I link to this department manager table on the department numbers. The department manager has the department number that I'm looking for, and it will tell me who the employee who manages that department is. So that will allow me to get this department manager employee number from here. That's this one down here. Once I have that employee number, I relink to the employees table so that I can manage the department manager's employee number to this new employee's employee number so that I can then use that to get the first and last name of the managers of that department. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch, but yes, that makes sense right now.
This is why I've consistently said to everybody, you have got to make sure. You've got to make sure that you. You've got to make sure that you are totally looking at the joins specifically. Okay. You have to know what you are joining to. If you can begin to step through this and understand how I'm linking from one table to another table to another table, and whether I'm using a left join or an inner join, and I will tell you again, 90% of all the joins you will ever need will fall under the left join or inner join category. It is rare that you need the full outer joins and the other joins, and I'll talk to you about them, and I'll show you. I'll try and get some better samples for them for you, but you've got to master these two. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So just on that first left join, I'm gonna attempt to embarrass myself. You
don't have to attempt. I mean, you do a very good job of it. But
you're pulling the salary.
Everybody notice Chris just walked right through that like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Chris is really humble. Give him a break.
So on that first left join, you're taking the salary for each employee number and attaching that to the original employee number.
So salaries has the employee has the salaries for each employee number, correct?
Yes.
So when I pull up all of my employees and I have the employee number, I'm linking that employee number to the salary employee number so that I can then go get information from the salaries table.
Oh, and that's why up here in your select, you're pulling on the salary. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And then department's doing the same.
Yeah.
And then, so on the third one there, you're taking now the department number that you've linked. Yeah, so you've now linked the department employee to the employee table.
Right. Hold on. The department number I got from DE, which is the department employee, which is this guy over here to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when I basically say, well, match that employee to this table, right? So it matches on the employee number, right?
Uh-huh.
To this employee number. So from the employees table to the department employee number. So now I can basically figure out what the department number is, and that's why I get this in line 3. Once I know that I have that department number, I can then link to the department's table. And then I can basically use that department's number from the DE table, which is the alias right above it, and link it to the department number in the department's table. That allows me to get the department name now from DPT.
From the department manager to the department number.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. And then what if, because like if I'm looking down at like the first name here, I was just kind of glancing over. What if I wanted like the distinct value here? Because I see like this first guy, it looks like he got a promotion a year in.
Right.
But it's repeated quite a bit.
The reason it repeats is because the salary changes, right? And the salary and the from date and to date change.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the manager number as well.
And the manager changes. So if you now want to do a distinct, you got to figure out what you want to do a distinct on.
Right.
And I ask a question
What?
about, okay, I'm still just trying to, between like the difference between 8 and 12 and why I created a new table.
Huh?
Is it because, and I'm probably way off, but is it because like 8, you're pulling, or maybe it's even 7, you're just pulling with the where clause, you're only pulling where the employee number is 100, blah, 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 3?
It's correct.
So that's why you have to bring in a whole new employee table for the managers.
Even if I basically commented this out though, right?
Oh.
That first line 7 is only bringing me all of the employees, right? Period. I can't reference that back to figure out who the managers are. I have to call it again so that I can basically link to the managers based on this department manager table.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the employees table is just giving me a list of the employees. I can't reference it back for anything else. Right? I can't go back to that and say, oh, I want you to use that again, because what you're doing in your head, rightly so, is you're optimizing and saying, oh, well, you already pulled it, so just reference the manager.
Mm-hmm. So if you wanted, that's like in any case, say we wanted to pull, like, you would just have to keep re-referencing something differently, however many times you want to use it.
That is absolutely correct. So if there was another thing that said, let's say peer, right, like a mentor table, and who's the employee's mentor, I'd have to reference it again.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alex, can you give some more interesting assignments like this? This was quite good.
Yeah, as we go through it, as we go through this, and we start doing some other things, you'll have it, because what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up giving you tables that you're going to have to work with. But the problem is I have to work through them first,
Right.
make sure that it gives me what I want.
Right.
So, we're doing 1 hour spurts each time, so I don't want to overburden it, and you got to play around with it anyway.
Sure.
Okay? Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
So what
Definitely needs. Yeah.
Huh?
So it definitely is going to need a rewatch, but yes, it does.
Agreed.
But this is the type of stuff that you want to do. So it's, I got to find a couple of other tables. I'm going to try and find a healthcare table that will allow you to link to like ICD-10 codes and stuff like that. But that's a little bit harder, because I'm trying to figure out what I really need to do is I'll probably need to do some other stuff first to show you how to load the data properly.
Mhm.
So if I wanted to put a distinct in here, how would I just format that correctly in SQL?
So
Because
my first question is, ask yourself this. I want a distinct. What do you want distinct?
let's go with first and last name for employee.
First and last name for employee. So you don't want any of the other information.
Well, I mean, I would just want to see the distinct first and last name for the employee with the rest of the information, no?
But hold on. I can't give you that distinct because they've had multiple salaries. So which salary do you want?
Yeah. That gets messy.
No, ask me. Go ahead. Let's do this. Let's play this out.
Which, I mean, I want each unique salary that the person has had.
Okay, but the problem with the unique salary is there are multiple unique salaries.
And different managers corresponding to them.
Correct.
Yeah. I guess you could do it by department number. Because I guess if they're being promoted within the same department, I mean, at least they're still there.
Right. So
Or
in essence, what you're telling me
greatest
is,
salary to see their current one. Sorry.
so, okay, say that again.
I was like, I guess you could search for their greatest salary, like the greatest salary for that person, to see that's most likely where they're at now.
All right, so let's try this out. Okay. So you want to group by employee number, first name, last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having,
Max salary.
you want max salary?
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully this works. Now the problem is that if you run this, it's going to say, I need the other items. They need to be in the group by clause. Okay. So I'm going to need to do, to be honest with you, I don't even know if this is going to work. I have to work this out myself. It won't work because what do you want? You want the, You want the largest. What do you want? The largest salary?
The largest salary for for the distinct first name and last name combinations.
Okay. So hold on. So now what I'm going to have to do is okay, so we're going to learn a subclause. Okay. I need to find that maximum salary. So what we're going to do is we're going to do select max salary from salaries where employee, I'm going to have to alias this again.
Shouldn't this be Sal? From
Yeah.
Sal?
No, because now because of what he did, I now have to create another subquery that's referencing it completely differently.
Okay.
Where s dot emp number equals 1003. Now watch
So
that.
if you do it well, your as statements, what you rename things resets.
Yes. So this is the max salary for this employee, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, give me the record give me all the records for this employee like we did, but only choose the one where the salary is equal to the max salary for that employee. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you run this, and now he's got the salary 3 times with this production, with this manager, and he's had 4 different managers over the course of that period of time. Now, the issue I have with this, okay, is this is a problem with the joins, because my guess is this manager is actually not the manager from this period to this period. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I know that is because of this. Because now what I really need to do, and you guys are probably going to have to watch the video for this, I'm absolutely certain. Department manager. Where's department manager? This one. And
Joining on multiple things. Department manager from date.
the whatchamacallits don't match. Hold on.
So the from dates from the salary table and the department manager table aren't matching.
They
right?
aren't matching, correct. So what I got to do is I've got to do E2 dot, oh, sorry. I need to come back here and I need to do dm dot from date is equal to dm dot from date as manager from comma dm dot to date equals let's see what they look like. There's the problem.
I also have a very new appreciation for R when it pings me about an error.
When you get this, you will have more of an appreciation
So
for SQL than anything else.
But Chris, you will appreciate one thing regarding an SQL environment to R. R is keeping everything in memory. So the more data you're loading inside your data frame, the heavier R's footprint is getting as you work on it. But SQL, you have a very heavy amount of data in a burst when you execute your query.
That's true. That's very true.
What's my issue? That's manager.toDate. Where is this problem?
Is it the comma after the E2 last name as manager before the from? Should there
Here?
be a comma on
Ah,
the last one?
that's it. You're right. Thank you.
Woo.
Told you the answers aren't very good. So you
Only
see,
because I done it twice tonight.
so you see here the manager, right,
Mhm.
changed from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here,
Right.
right? Even though the
Mhm.
salary remained the same for this period of time, right? I have this here. So this would get a little bit more complicated.
Right.
Because we'd have to link this, like this manager does not fall in line with this,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? And so that's a problem. So we'd have to do something a little bit different to match the salary dates. Follow?
Yep.
It's not as straightforward, and I'd have to really think about this. But this is why you're getting this manager. He's had 4 managers, but he's had 4 salaries, and this is the problem specifically with the joins.
Mhm.
And if I'm not mistaken, the logic here would also be that the from and to dates of the employee need to be within the range of the from and to dates of the manager to actually make that manager correspond to that employee for that specific salary.
Yep.
Which is going to get really nasty.
It's going to get very nasty. There's no question about it. But that's what happens because we're pulling the max salary. So it's giving you this record. But because this person has had 4 particular records, right, for the managers, that's where you run into a problem. What we could do is we could do and sal dot from date is what do I want to do? When we sell that from date is
Less than manager.
Manager from date, which would be what's the manager table? It's DM, right? DM dot manager from date. Let's see how that works. DM. Actually, it's not called manager.
No, because you're in the subclause. Right? You can't use DM.
No, I can use DM here.
Oh, you can? I thought if you were in the sub, you couldn't use your
No, I can use any of these things. I can use them in my where clause. What I can't do is I couldn't use it here.
Why not? Oh,
because I have to create a separate query for this.
Okay. It's the select clause, not the and. Okay. Okay.
Let me just see this for 1 second. Manager from date salary. See, the problem is that this manager's from date doesn't match to this.
Right.
So what we probably need to do is do DM to date. And now I get the person.
Yeah.
In the most recent one.
That's
That manager who will last another 7,000 years.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is where you have to figure out. See, the problem is that your joins can potentially give you multiple records.
Right.
And you have to determine, okay, why is that happening? And it's happening in this case because they've had more than one manager, but I need to link it to this. And that's how I'll get the one record that you're looking for, which I think this is what you were looking for, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right, everybody. Any questions?
Not yet.
So it wasn't like a data error, like it wasn't the dates weren't put in wrong. It was just like a join error thing.
It's developing the right query thing.
Oh, okay.
Y'all got to do the right thing with the queries.
Okay.
So if I understand this correctly, the strategy to develop complex joins is to start with one and slowly build on the same one.
100%.
Rather than looking at things in isolation and then trying to jumble them together.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool.
Because you have to think of it as creating You have one set, you join it to another set, and that becomes the new set.
Right.
And that new set joins to another set, and so forth and so forth and so forth.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Any questions on this?
I have a question.
Yep.
So is the order of the joins based off of the order that you have in your select?
Yeah. Oh, no. Not in the select. It's the order of the joins.
Okay.
These joins are in this order.
Mm-hmm. But like, how did you, I guess, determine what would be the next table to go through if they each have their own employee number? Like, how did you know that the department M should be next, and then the department table, and then the department manager?
So in this case, it actually won't matter. I could invert this, and it won't matter. I still get the same result. And the reason is this. I'm going to show you. So because I'm joining emp here, let me do this. Annotate. You see this emp joining here?
Yeah.
Joining here? It will not matter because the left part of the left join is this emp. Okay? But what happens is this, is that this dept, DPT, right? Or this DE, I'm going to change the color, is now joined to this, which means it's predicated on what was joined by line 8. Do you follow?
Yeah.
And then this dept, which is now here, is joined on this one, which is predicated by what was joined on line 10.
Got it.
And then this DM is joined here, which is what was predicated on that. So that becomes kind of the important factor.
So it doesn't necessarily matter which tables you wrote first, but you then connect them so that like the order does end up mattering. But like in terms of when you're writing it and you
Correct.
want to connect them, it doesn't matter which one you choose first. You just have to stick with that.
Correct.
Okay.
Because what will happen is that if I had inverted a couple of the other ones, like this guy, it wouldn't know what DM is.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if like if you specifically saved DM for second to last because there was a reason, or if that was just the order in which you got to it.
That's the order in which I get to it.
Got it. Okay.
But it makes the difference in that sense because that's how you're building the query.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
I understand drawing it out now.
That's the key, is you got to draw it out too.
Gotta get a whiteboard.
Yep. All right. Any other questions? Chris, you good?
I'm good.
Colleen?
I'm good.
Mahan?
All good.
Gabriella?
Good.
Vanessa?
I'm good.
Mohammed?
Paw paw.
Mohammed? You're on mute. Rasheen?
I'm good. Thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah, Professor, I just want to ask one thing.
Yeah.
So if we can actually see the actual tables in a visual form, so we can actually, it would be easier for us to pick particular information that we are looking for. So I think Vihan also asked yesterday, is there a way we can view tables in a form so that it's easier?
So the model, right, this model thing is supposed to do that for you. I didn't get a chance to look at it today. I will try and do that probably when I get back on Wednesday.
Because what I see is you can make an ER diagram there which gets translated into a schema, but I don't know if it does it the other way around.
It definitely does do it the other way around.
Okay, that would be awesome.
I don't remember how to do it.
Okay. Because otherwise the pencil paper thing actually works very well.
Yeah, I just do not remember how to do this. That's my only problem. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh.
Oh, sweet. Hold on, let me see if this works. Hoo-hoos!
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
All right, hold on.
Awesome.
Here we go. Here we go. This is what happens when you click shit. Okay, hold on. All right. This little button over here, okay, says
Mhm.
create model from a database.
Oh.
Since we already have the database, we're good. So I make my connections to the parameters, which is my local host. Continue. Completed successfully. I continue. I say choose the employees table.
Mhm.
Okay. It's now getting all the objects. Now, when I do that, I'm basically just going to say, give me all the table and all the view objects, which is fine. It's going to reverse engineer them, 6
Yeah.
tables,
Got it.
and boom.
So
Wow.
wow.
Okay. I knew it was there. I never used this that much, and I saw it like maybe last year.
Oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So-
this is an ER diagram. Go ahead, Mohammed. What did you want to say?
Yeah. So the question is like, can you just explain a bit about one-on-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, looking at these diagrams? I just want to refresh, like, and start from whole class.
Okay, so how this is drawing this basically is this. A one-to-one relationship means that there exists one record in one side to one record in another side. There can exist only one-to-one relationship. A one-to-many would be like employees to salaries. A single employee has many salaries over the course of years. That's a one-to-many. You can also have many-to-many, which is this one, where I can have any number of the same record yielding any number of the same record on the other side. So you may have, let's say you have a baseball team and there were 17 people that had number 19. I could link that number 19 to another table which has many records for number 19 as well. Doesn't make as much sense, to be honest with you, but that's the way it works. So this here should be a one-to-many relationship because it basically has one line going in here to this little bird's foot, which says you have one employee to many salaries. Does that make sense? I got to figure out what this one is. There's a one-to-one relationship here between this employee to department manager. This line here seems to drag through. I don't know how that works. This one is a line that goes one to many, which looks like, to titles. Okay, and this one should be one-to-one titles to, is this titles to departments? Where's the department here? I'll have to see how they built this. But there's a relationship here through this department number. There must be another line in here somewhere. I have to remember how they draw these diagrams, but that's how that basically works.
Yep.
And remember, we took out the key, right? Remember, we took out the foreign keys from department employee yesterday.
Yeah,
Well,
so
the lines are lost here.
oh yeah.
Okay.
But did we like reconnect it in the query?
Yeah, you could actually reconnect it here. I think if you do something, I gotta remember how to do this. Let's see. I'm gonna do a one-to-one relationship. The one-to-one relationship is here. Department number. Where's department number? We're going to do a one-to-one relationship. Well, I don't remember how to draw this. Again, like I said, I do not use this that much. So, where the hell this is going? I have to remember how to do this. Edit relationship. Let's see. I'd have to edit it down here. Yeah, I'll have to remember how to do this. I don't want to do this right now because I do not remember how to use this design tool.
Oh, fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. I'll try and figure it out over the next couple of weeks, but I don't use this tool. I would draw it by hand, to be honest with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And for BA major, we just need to know how to extract information from database. We don't need to create this table because that comes under like a database developer side.
Yeah, if you're this really designing these diagrams is really under database design, but inherently you can kind of do it yourself by just building the table structures and knowing whether or not you need a key relationship or not. Again, we're not going to do much of that because this is more for what you need on the data science side is you need to know how to retrieve the data and how to optimize some of the databases. But if we get to it, we'll do that as well. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. All right, then I will see you guys next week. Have a good 4th of July weekend. If you have any questions in between, just shoot me a note, okay?
Sure.
Sure.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I will